In this second unit, we are looking at food poisoning and foodborne diseases. Food poisoning. Bacteria requires warmth, moisture, food and time to grow. These four elements contribute to food poisoning. A link in these elements must be broken to protect food. Warmth. The majority of bacteria grows rapidly at body temperature 37 degrees Celsius, but can grow between 5 degrees Celsius and 63 degrees Celsius, known as the danger zone. Moisture. All bacteria requires moisture. The majority of foods have enough for bacteria to develop. Food. Pathogenic bacteria can grow well in high protein foods, for example poultry, meat and eggs. Time. All bacteria grows by dividing in two. This process is known as the binary fission. Symptoms of food poisoning. Food poisoning usually occurs soon after food has been consumed. The symptoms of food poisoning may include one or more of the following: vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, abdominal stomach pain, and fever. High risk groups. High risk or vulnerable groups may not be able to fight off food poisoning in the same way others can. Those at risk are elderly, the very young, pregnant women, people who may be ill, and those who have a reduced immune system. Toxins. The key to controlling toxins is to ensure bacteria doesn't grow, and temperature control is the most useful method to achieve this. Some food poisoning bacteria causes illness by fighting our body's defence systems. Other bacteria produces toxins that cause illness in a different way. There are two particular types of pathogen toxins: infection and intoxication. The first type, infection, is caused by the swallowing and absorption of food containing active bacteria, which grows and forms itself in the human intestinal tract. The second type, intoxication, is caused by consuming food that already contains toxins created by bacteria, which has grown within the food item. On the following slides, we will be looking closely at the group of diseases that are caused by bacteria, viruses and parasites. There are more than 250 known foodborne diseases, of which some enter the body through contaminated food and water being consumed and going through our gastrointestinal tract. They all have longer onset times than food poisoning bacteria, and very few are needed to cause illness to high-risk groups, as we saw earlier. The onset times can differ in length depending on the strain of the bacteria, the age of the person and their general overall health. Most people with foodborne diseases get better on their own, providing they replace lost fluids to prevent dehydration. Campylobacter, often found in raw chicken and raw meats, untreated milk, animals and birds, contaminated water. The onset time is usually 2 to 5 days. The symptoms are diarrhea, abdominal pain, nausea and headaches. The precautions is to thoroughly cook food, keep raw food and cooked food separate, wash hands, only drink pasteurised milk and keep animals away from food. E. coli 0157, often found in raw and undercooked meat and poultry, particularly minced beef, untreated dairy products and contact with farm animals. The onset time is usually 3 to 4 days. The symptoms are diarrhea, can be bloody, abdominal pains, can lead to serious kidney damage. And the precautions are ensure thoroughly cooked food, take more care with burgers and sausages, and keep raw and cooked food separate. Shigellosis, often found in water and food contaminated with human feces, eating food that has had contact with contaminated water. The onset time is usually 1 to 7 days. The symptoms are diarrhea, can be bloody, abdominal pain, and precautions are thoroughly wash hands, keep toilet areas thoroughly clean, wash fruit and vegetables well in clean water, and avoid sharing of hand towels. Hepatitis A, Often found in shellfish contaminated with sewage, food contaminated with human feces, and contaminated water. The onset time is usually between 2 to 6 weeks. The symptoms are nausea and vomiting, tiredness and loss of appetite, abdominal pains and fever, and the precautions are as above. Listeria, often found in unpasteurised dairy products such as soft cheeses, brie and camembert, meat pâtés, soil and contaminated water. The onset time is usually 3 to 70 days. The symptoms are fever, diarrhoea, can cause septicemia in high-risk groups, and can cause miscarriage and other complications in pregnancy. Precautions: pregnant women should avoid foods that have a high Listeria risk and always follow use-by dates. Neurovirus, often referred to as the winter vomiting bug, often found in infected food handlers, contaminated water, and it is airborne. It is to be noted that the neurovirus is highly infectious. The onset time is usually 12 to 48 hours. The symptoms are vomiting, diarrhoea, fever, and abdominal pain. The precautions are: wash hands, keep toilet areas thoroughly clean, and avoid sharing of hand towels.